Hello, this is Patrick with Lone Wolf Software, and this is a quick tutorial on Automotive Wolf, our car care, car management software for Windows. And today I'm going to show you how quickly and easily you can create a vehicle and configure it with your maintenance schedule in Automotive Wolf. So right now what you see on your screen is Automotive Wolf. We have a Mazda RX-7 that's selected, and you're seeing the What's Due tab. The tabs here, you have several tabs: maintenance, repair. You can click through these. You see the maintenance record and analysis of all the expenses, and a fuel record. Just about everything. What's due record shows exactly what's due. You have pending and show all. There's lots of options here. Right now, we see some gauges also displayed for some individual requirements that we've selected that we want gauges to show us graphically what's going on. But anyway, today's video is about creating the vehicle and how easy it is just to do this. And it's very quick, very easy to do. So let's do that now. So when you want to create a vehicle, and you can create any kind of vehicle, it could be, a car, a truck, a bus, an RV. You might want to create, manage maybe the maintenance on a generator or even a small airplane. Basically, Automotive Wolf can be configured for just about anything. So today we'll just do a car. So you click on the Create button up here on the top pane, and you are presented now with the Pro version, I should say. You are presented with all these different options. The standard version only gives you this option number one, which is the car, standard truck, or van. It says uses standard vehicle maintenance requirements. So if you have a motorcycle or large truck or boat, lawnmower, or anything that you want to have tracked hourly, like a tractor or maybe your boat, whatever, you should definitely select the Pro version when you purchase it, because that gives you those options. And what you select here is pretty important, because it really does determine the maintenance requirements that are selected for the vehicle that you're creating. So for example, if you select a motorcycle, you will get specialized motorcycle requirements, maintenance requirements in your schedule. Now these requirements are generic. There's just basically too many models and makes and years and everything to get you the specific manufacturer's scheduled maintenance for that specific vehicle from the manufacturer. But all of these requirements are easily configurable. You can edit, you can delete them, and you can create your own. So you can tailor it very quickly after you create the vehicle to meet your own preferences, to tailor to your own preferences. And maybe we recommend you open up your owner's manual after you've configured the vehicle and just go through it and make some changes so that it matches your owner's manual. So right now we're going to go ahead and select the car. So we just click OK. And we're presented with the Create New Vehicle screen. You have to enter a few things here. So let's do how about a Ford Mustang today? So we select Ford. And you can see there's lots of different options here as far as the Ford. We're looking for the Mustang right there. I should also say, if your vehicle's not included in these drop-down menus, you can just simply click in the box and enter it yourself. Then the year, we're gonna we'll create let's say a 1-year-old vehicle, 2019. We won't select an image today. I don't have an image for a Mustang, so we'll just click OK. The next screen, you have to enter some parameters, some values that are kind of important, because it helps determine what's going to be what's due on your vehicle when it's ultimately created. So the current odometer. So let's say this vehicle, it's about a year old. You can click. Oh, by the way, click on the red letters, and you'll open up a little number pad. So let's say this vehicle has 10,000 miles on it. And the distance driven per year, again, you have some help here. You can select what you want, but generally most cars, let's say 15,000 miles a year, which is probably about average. And we'll go to approximate miles per gallon, so most people have at least an idea. So let's say our Mustang gets 20 miles per gallon. And the fuel cost per gallon, approximate. Again, does not have to be exact. So today the average is probably $2.29 a gallon for just regular. And then your insurance payment. So again, you can estimate if you want, but let's say for this Mustang, our insurance payment is about $100 per month. So we have the month selected. So that's all entered. So we click OK, go to the next screen. Here you select, basically it's your maintenance trim. It's the schedule that's going to be created for you. Now you have 4 options here. You can select the basic low maintenance setting, which just means just the basic requirements are enabled. medium, which is a typical maintenance setting, the most common maintenance requirements are going to be enabled, or a full high maintenance setting. All requirements in Automotive Wolf will be required. All the car related maintenance requirements will be enabled once the vehicle is created. And then you have a minimum option simply where you'll do it yourself. So you'll have to go out after the vehicle is created, you'll have to go in and you'll have to configure exactly what requirements. You can create the ones you want, configure it exactly requirement by requirement the way you want. So in general, I would say let's choose the medium, the typical maintenance setting. Again, all of these settings, after you create the vehicle, you can go in and easily modify any of these requirements. So we have the medium one selected. Now, if you read this, it talks about oil changes, and it's really asking you how far have you driven your vehicle since the last oil change. Because oil is such an important factor in your vehicle's overall health. You have, if you're driving around an oil that's, 50,000 miles old, your vehicle's in poor health. So it's probably the most important. It's really the life's blood of your vehicle. So we asked a specific question to at least give an estimate of the last time you had your oil change in this vehicle. So in this case, we're going to say we changed it 2,500 miles ago. Click OK. Then you click OK again, and now the vehicle is being created. So we see that there was no image that was entered for the vehicle, so it just selects by default the Ford emblem. And now we have a maintenance schedule that's already showing some what's due. And the reason it's showing some what's due is because this vehicle we entered has 10,000 miles. Some of these requirements are going to be due already because they should have been checked before the 10,000 mile requirement was up. So antifreeze coolant check level, that should have been done at 1,500 miles. Battery check terminals and cables should have been at 3,000 miles. All these, as you can see, should have been done previously, but since we haven't entered any maintenance records for the vehicle, it doesn't know that maybe some of these things were performed previously in your vehicle. So it just says they're due now, which you can easily go through these. So let me just show you how you do that. So for instance, the oil check level should have been done at 500 miles. You can right click on it, select edit, select the requirement, and you can see this particular requirement is being handled only by distance. You can also add a time, so you could say you want to check your oil every month and every 3,000 or every 500 miles. Right now, this requirement by default is set at 500 miles, due by odometer every 500 miles. So if we go ahead and satisfy this requirement in the maintenance record, it's going to be set to 500 miles in the future. So since the current odometer is 10,000, the next time you'll have to check it, it'll be automatically rescheduled to 10,500 miles. In this case, we're not going to enter a maintenance record to satisfy it. We're just going to go ahead and set it ahead. So right now we're at 10,000 miles for the vehicle. Here's the odometer. So we're going to go ahead and say, okay, let's set this to 10,500 miles. So it'll be due in 500 miles. Whoops. There we go, 10,500, and we're going to reschedule every 500 miles. I think that's a good idea. Let's change it to 1,000. Every 1,000 miles, it's going to remind you to just check the oil level. So display a reminder alarm when this requirement's due. We'll say yes. Display a gauge for the requirement. We'll also say yes. Click OK, and here you go. Now you see this gauge here, oil check level, has now been reset to the green range, and you see the due odometer on it is going to be at 10,500 miles. So we've already reset that one. So we can go through all of these and just quickly reset them. Let's do the brakes, check brake level fluid. So this was due at 3,000 miles. So let's say we just checked it 1,000 miles ago. So let's make this, let's check it at 12,000 miles. You can see it's very easy to do this very quickly. And you want to reschedule every, check the brake fluid, we'll say every 10,000 miles. And display a reminder. Let's display a reminder for this one too. Click OK, and you can see now that one has disappeared. So basically, the two requirements that we just edited have disappeared from the what's due list, because these are the requirements that are due now. If you go into pending, you'll see the oil check level is right here, the one that we just reset, and also the brakes, check the brake level. They're now impending in the future. So let's go back to what's due now. So to finish configuring this vehicle, I would go through the rest of these and just reset the ones that we think needs to be reset, and maybe set them up so they're required in the future. There's no maintenance records, so we just want to keep it basically this way. I guess the other thing is there is a quick way to do an overall inspection of everything that's enabled and disabled as far as maintenance requirements on your car. If you click on this button here, configure maintenance requirements, it pulls up and shows a window. It's the configure a requirement schedule for the 2019 Ford Mustang. And all the requirements that you have enabled are on the right side, and you can scroll through them here. These are the requirements you have enabled with all the different parameters, the due odometer, the due date, if the alarm is on or off, if you have a gauge displayed, the miles, how many miles it's going to be reset at, etc., and the days, how many days it'll be. So, for example, the belts replaced currently is set to replace the belts every 30,000 miles or every 730 days. And you can, if you click on any of these requirements, it'll load the parameters down here. You can change them, just click apply changes, and it'll change them. So you can go through any of the requirements very quickly for your vehicle. On the right side, these are the enabled requirements, and quickly just click on them, make any changes that you want. It's very fast. In fact, after you configure your vehicle, I'd probably recommend you do it this way, and just go through them. You change them here, and after each change, click apply changes, and then when you're done, okay, I'm finished, and the whole vehicle is reconfigured in literally probably a minute or two. The left side are available requirements. These are requirements that are not currently enabled for the vehicle. Some of these requirements were not enabled when you created the vehicle because you chose a basic maintenance setting for this vehicle. So it didn't select every single maintenance requirement. Inspect CV boots and joints, inspect drive shaft and U-joints, check AC refrigerant. These are the ones that were not enabled for the vehicle because we selected a basic. If you would have selected the high maintenance, all of these requirements would have been added to the vehicle, and all of them would have been on this right side. So as I said, this is a quick way to go through your requirements. If you want to create a new requirement, you can actually create it right here. After you type in the new requirement and add it, then you'll click on it, click on the right arrow to move it over to the enabled requirements. Then you click on it, and then you will reconfigure it with the parameters that you like, for how often you want to reschedule it, when it's next due, all these things. And then you created a requirement, and you added it to your enabled requirement list. So if you want to create new requirements, it's very easy to do. Create them here, they show up here, you move them to the right to the enabled side, configure them, apply changes, okay, I'm finished, done. So let's go ahead and cancel out of this. And you see we have the vehicle now. And as I said, I would go through the rest of these requirements and configure them quickly. And I'd probably do it through the configure maintenance requirements window. But you can also do individual requirements one by one by just right-clicking and selecting the edit selected requirement. Now, if any of these requirements have been, satisfied, you can right-click and just click Satisfy, select a requirement. And this is actually going to satisfy the requirement. It automatically adds the current odometer. You can see that in this case, it was already added. Check for leaks or bulges, which is the one that we selected. And it says inspection. So all you have to do is basically click OK, and it's going to be added to your maintenance record. And this requirement that we're doing right now, hoses, check for leaks and bulges, right here, this requirement will automatically be added to your maintenance record, your maintenance log, and it would disappear from here because this is what's due right now. So let's just cancel that. And there you have it. You can create a vehicle, configure its maintenance schedule in literally a minute or so. Then you can go through it and make any reconfigurations tailored to your personal preferences. Probably do the whole thing in 10 or 15 minutes. And that's about it for today. Watch for more videos. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.